Alright, game 1 of Masters versus Hayden. After 2 years of dodging, we keep on playing each other now. So he's got a, what is it, a variation on your normal Timelapse. You want to take us through it?
Yeah, it's just fire support cadre, as usual, just with far side objective secured suits backup.
Excellent, and some Crute outflanking. And deep striking squad of Crisis. And I'm bringing the Dark Eldar. And I've decided just to deploy absolutely everything. There's the list, and I'm going to try and seize right now. Alright. Alrighty, so taking my Dark Eldar out for a spin, and I listened to Dave Kerr, one of the guys that we play with here. He had experience with taking Dark Eldar without having played them much to a Masters event. I think it was last year. Or 2 years ago, and he got completely smashed, and I said I want to recreate that. No, alright, so this tournament, so it's Queensland Masters, and it's I wanted to take the Dark Eldar because I'm switching up, not completely all to Dark Eldar, but I'm playing a lot more different armies, not just NIDs. And I also want to do some combinations with NIDS, Dark Eldar, just some cool things like that. And it's definitely one of those armies, not like the NIDS, like the recent NIDS, but where, you know, if you're going first, it's really, really good, and if you're going second, it's not as good. Anyway, Hayden's got his first turn, and he's just, you can just see, he's blowing all my tanks off the board, or my boats off the board. He kills all but one, and he was really disappointed about that. And I really like how Hayden changes up his, what's it called, the tower list, just slightly. Like he's got an idea of what he wants, and he's comfortable with what his playstyle is, but he then achieves it in different ways, which is really good. Another thing I really like is using the broadsides. He moves them forward, so he's now snap shooting, but then uses Microlite hits from his other. So he's got, you know, like a buff commander squad with crisis suits, which don't need Microlites, but they've got Microlites, which then cascades it to the next group, which has got Microlites, which then cascades it to the broadside. So I really like that, because now you're shooting at normal ballistic skill again. My game plan was really deploy as much stuff as possible, because I wanted to see if that worked or not. So, like, there was a few ideas going through my head. What I could have done was deploy really, really, really defensively. Put my Kronos unit up front and reserved most of my army. I could have done that, but I wanted to see, because I was going second, and you know I didn't get the thing which extra C's or anything like that. I wanted to see if I deployed my entire army up front, be as aggressive as possible, what would have happened. And I nearly pulled it off, actually. You can see, so my boats all died, but most of my guys were still alive, and they were pushing up towards the top two objectives. So there's 4 objectives on the top 2 and down at the bottom 2. And my goal was just to push forward, pin him in. Hayden did a really good job in not getting pinned into his back corner. So that was very, very good. I was trying to pin him into his corner, and then make it so he couldn't get the rest of the objectives, and I'll get one and contest his one, or something like that. You know, like that. That's kind of like a little bit of gameplay. Didn't work exactly like that, because I said Hayden played really well. It came away from my dudes. Circled around, didn't want to get pinned in. He sacrificed his broadside, so all his broadsides died to my Kronos unit. My warriors pushing forward, doing some damage, capping some objectives. One of the things about this army, you can see I don't have any objectives secured. So all those warriors, while they've got +1 turn on the power from pain, they don't have objectives secured. So I think that was actually a big weakness of this army. I was talking to a lot of different people, and I actually think this is a good comp list. Like it's a strong comp list, but it's because it's not that powerful. But it's really fun to play. Like I enjoyed every single game I played because I never felt like I was going to get completely smashed or I was never in the game. And as it turns out, I never got a 0. So I never got tabled or anything like that. So a little bit of a spoiler, but I never got a 0. So I was really, really happy with that. Going through here, where we ended on turn 5, and I had a really good chance in actually pulling off a small win, because I knocked his crew off the objective, so I had the top of the left objective. My Kronos and co, they lost on the final shot, the last wound. I was actually running to contest his top objective. If one guy had survived, he would have had his 1. And I made a charge with my, what's it called? My Incubi to the bottom left against a 1 wound Riptide. And I couldn't cause 1 wound. It was so annoying. If I'd caused that 1 wound, I would have had 2 objectives to his 1 and then contested if I had survived. Even if I didn't survive, it would have been 2-2. It would have been a minor loss. But as it was a major loss. And that was it for first game.